Adedeji, and I'm joining from Ijebu de Ogun State. So I've started recording. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on the time you're watching this or listening to this. If you're listening to the recording, and if you're here, good evening. I'm delighted to welcome you. So today is Monday. It's the beginning of a new week, and today is also the last day, in the month of July. So it's the beginning. Is like you are having this webinar to enter the new month of August by tomorrow, and I can assure you that this will be one of the best things that happens in your teaching career. And I don't take that thing lightly. And before I go on, whether you're listening right now, you're here right now, or you're listening to the recording, one thing I can assure you is that I'm not going to waste your time. It's going to be worth it for you. Trust me. There's a trainer I attended very last year, and that's another thing. If you don't know this person, make sure you go on Facebook and search for him and follow him. It will help your life. His name is Jubril Oluwatobi, and he mentioned something that, in that particular training, he mentioned something like, if you waste your time, you commit suicide, because your time is your life. So if you waste your time, you're committing suicide. Okay. So, but if you waste someone else's time, you're committing a murder. And I'm not a murderer. So if I should bring you all here and waste your time, that means I'm a murderer, because there are a lot of things you can be using this time to do. We have decided to come up here to come and learn, and to get yourself empowered with the understanding and the knowledge of the business of teaching. And that's something I don't take for granted. I really appreciate it. And I can assure you again, it's going to be worth it for you. So let's get right into it. So let me start with introducing myself properly. So my name is Abdulatif Adedeji. I'm the flip classroom expert, and I'm the business of teaching strategist. So what I do basically is I consult for schools to implement a flip classroom methodology, and also I empower teachers to see and take advantage of the limitless opportunities and possibilities in the teaching profession, and to empower them to create profitable business out of their teaching career. So I want to know, so before I get started today, how many of you would like to have a profitable teaching career? Because for you to, in fact, when you talk about the business of teaching itself, it's just talking about having a profitable teaching career. Because there's no how you're going to have a profitable teaching career without understanding the business of teaching. Go and check. In every endeavor in life, in every skill, in every work, there is always the skill of that thing or the profession, and there is always the business of that thing. And in every work, in every profession, the people that are the top people in those professions are actually those that understand the business of the profession. So if you go and check, most of the teachers you admire out there, they're doing amazing things, both online and offline, that you call your mentor, your coach, and every other things. These guys, they don't have anything special than you. The only thing is that the only advantage they have is that they understood the business of teaching very early. Okay? And they are taking advantage of that knowledge. So if you're a teacher here and you're wondering and you have been feeling frustrated, like your pay is not enough, this thing is not this, and a lot of things are happening, the economy is harsh, or your salary cannot be able to keep up with the expenses and every other thing. It all comes down to one thing. But you understand the business of teaching, one thing is going to happen. I'm not certain of every other thing, but you see this one thing, I'm very certain of it, that your eyes will be opened to business, to opportunities to make money. And I'm going to dissect what it means, because I know I've been going around for days now shouting business of teaching, and a lot of teachers don't even understand what that means. And I'm going to break it down tonight. But before then, let me quickly share a little bit of my story with you, and to also let you know why I'm actually doing this and why I'm passionate about this. So in 2016, actually, let me start from here. So growing up, I never planned to be a teacher. No, I don't. In fact, as at then, if you tell me I'm going to be a teacher, like I get a gun, I'm going to shoot you, because I don't just. It's not as if I have anything bad against teachers, or I have a negative feeling about teaching. Just I never considered it. I I did not see any, though I've met a lot of great teachers, but I never see anyone that inspired me to say, okay, I want to be like this person when I grow up. Okay, and I know you can relate to that too. So, but then, but one thing I love growing up, and when I say this, you also understand why I'm so passionate about anything technology, is computer. I love anything computer growing up. So it is so my path has already been set. So when I finish secondary school, I already know what I'm going to do. I already know what I'm going to study. I'm going to study computer science. And fortunately for me, I applied for admissions in university, polytechnic. I was not given admission. And then along the line, why I've almost even given up on getting admission that particular year, I got this opportunity to go to College of Education. And because I don't want to stay at home, I opted in and I got into the College of Education and I studied computer science and mathematics. Along the way, I started teaching. I take tutorials a lot. And before I know it, I developed this strong passion for teaching. My teaching practice is one of my best experience I ever have in my life. Like I teach and teach and teach, and before you know it, I'm fine. And because what I was teaching then was mathematics, so I don't even like resonate a lot or think a lot about computer science again. I just prefer teaching mathematics, and that's how I became a teacher. But then fast forward to 2019, I finished my college education in 2019, and immediately I'm done. I got a job as a computer operator. But then after 6 months, I felt like I'm not okay with this. I want to go into teaching. I want to go into teaching. So that's a decision for me. Even though I have other skills, at least I have computer skills. I'm working as a computer operator. I'm both as a computer operator and a computer instructor. But then I feel like no, this teaching I want to go into. But then I also understand that most teachers are poor. Yes, I'm sorry to say, or should I be sorry? No, that's just the reality. Most teachers are poor. But one decision I made that particular year, 2020, January 2020, is that I am not going to be a poor teacher. I'm going to make a difference as a teacher. And as God will help me, which is also something I'm going to talk about, as God will help me, I have been engaging in personal development. I have been, what is it called, following some people online. So I've been exposed to a lot of things. And then I came across a particular post one day about a teacher. A teacher posted a post in the Facebook group that I belong to, and it was sharing how he has been able to make so amount of money. How he's been able to like invested over 120,000 naira in a particular program, in a monthly coaching program, and how he has been able to make 7 figures. Like, and I wonder, like, and I have to comment, wow, a teacher doing this. Like, in fact, you can check. I don't know. I may not be able to get the link, but even if I go and look for the link, you will see the comment. Something like, wow, a teacher doing this. And that's the beginning for me because I saw what is possible. And then fast forward to 2020, COVID-19 happens, and I start learning all these skills. And it all started with that burning passion of, okay, I know how to do these things. And a lot of teachers are really struggling financially. Schools are shut down. There's no really much of an option for them to keep getting their to keep earning money as a teacher. And I feel like okay, and I've learned how to use digital to okay, let's start teaching teachers how to what's it called? How to teach with digital tools, how to teach a smartphone. It started with that. And then I did not stop there. That's just it. I also attend a lot of training, go through a lot of trainings, and before you know it, I transitioned from one thing to one thing before I now get to flip classroom. Before I now decided, I think late last year that okay, I've learned a lot. I've created a business out of my own teaching career. I've learned all these things and I've been able to make money beyond the walls of my classroom. And a lot of students are out there so that don't understand this. So why not take it to them? Okay. And one of the things that actually helped me as a teacher is that when I start my teaching career, I don't limit myself to what teachers do. In fact, because of my exposure to a lot of other things, most of the things that I do, most teachers don't do it. And that's really one of the things that give me an advantage. wherever I am, because I'm able to, like, there are a lot of things I've been exposed to that on a normal day teachers don't are not even in that environment. Like there are some events I will be, and I'm introducing myself as a teacher, and they will feel like, wow, a teacher, I've been here. And that is because I understand, I made that decision in the beginning, from the beginning, that no, I am going to make a difference. I cannot be just any other teacher. So because of that, a lot of I take a lot of risk. I make a lot of decisions. I take a lot of actions that most teachers will not even think of doing. Why? Because I have something set already for myself. Right, and that's the beginning. And personally, as a brand and as a person, one of the things I'm very committed to, and this is something I put out every time, is that I'm very committed to empowering teachers to having a fulfilling teaching career and a profitable teaching career. So I know there is no fulfillment is what you take it, you get in your classroom. Okay, you teach your students and they are this and they are that. And I always say something like, uh no matter how fulfilled a teacher is, if you don't get the same a corresponding financial compensation for what you're doing, for the job you're doing as a teacher, you become frustrated. And that's why a lot of teachers are frustrated. And one of the things I've seen that always give me headache is that I will see a lot of people, successful people actually, they are successful now. And before you know it, they will start sharing their story and they will feel like, hey, I remember when I was still a classroom teacher, earning 12,000 naira as a this. And I feel like, wow. Does it mean that you cannot be successful as a teacher? So these guys will come and give us their testimony. And it will be like, okay, when I was a teacher, I was poor. Just when I leave the education industry, that I started being rich. Does it mean that it is two options? Either you're a teacher or you are rich. And I firmly believe that that's not true. You can be a teacher and still be very rich. Okay, and this is why I'm actually doing this, to show teachers that you don't need to get out of teaching to be rich. You just need to understand the business of what you're doing. Most of us have been to schools, we have spent 4 years, even some of us have our master's degree, even doctorate degree. But the sad thing about this is that you are only learning the profession, you're only learning the act of teaching. There's no one course unless you go for an MBA. There's no one course out of all the courses you did in your degree program that teaches the business of teaching, how to make money from teaching. Okay, so that is so it is so I believe, and especially during a time like this where things are very hard, we have to be very sincere with each other. Things are hard, and if the only thing you do is depend on your salary, there's you are currently in a big trouble. So I know that if there's a best time to actually put this out, it is now. The best time for teachers to understand the business of teaching and take advantage of the opportunities in the teaching profession. It is now. In fact, recently I put out a post on my Facebook profile called the bitterest truths about teaching. And it is simply that your salary cannot make you rich. Your salary cannot make you rich. And let me tell you that now. Your salary cannot make you rich. We're still going to understand more of this when I get into the business of teaching proper. Okay. Now, oh, sorry, the network over here is bad. Sorry. So, and this is what I'm saying. So please, if you're here and you can hear me clearly, if you're getting any point, you can just please drop it in the group so that people that are joining or experience network problem can actually also follow us. Okay. Now, before we go on into the session, so I've just shared my story and share with you why I'm doing this. So before I go on, I want to ask you one simple question. Why are you here? Why are you here? Why are you here? So I'm going to give us like 2 to 3 minutes to answer that. Why are you here? You saw this training somewhere, you saw me post them maybe on my WhatsApp status, one of my WhatsApp groups or Facebook. I know some of us got this from some Facebook group I posted it to. So why are you here? Why? What's when you hear the business of teaching, come on then, what the business side of teaching is all about. What prompts you? Okay, why? So okay, this is let me reframe the question, because I've seen someone said, since Mr. Ayo said to learn the business of teaching. The question is, why do you want to learn the business of teaching? Why? Why do you want to learn the business of teaching? Hey, amazing. I can see something to get rich teaching. Okay. So why? Why are you here? Why? So the reason why it's very important that you know why you're here is because when you are done with this training, you need to be able to know, okay, do I achieve my aim, or am I just here? Do I just spend 1 hour or more than that here just listening to something that does not concern me? Okay, I can say Miss Sophia. Okay, to be a profitable teacher, fantastic. I'm here to get advanced, to improve my skills, and to be better than where I am now. Okay, I'm here to learn how to upgrade myself in the teaching profession. Amazing. So we have spent, I have mercy, we have spent years learning the art of teaching, but yet to understand the business of teaching. Come on, you're here. We are going to sort this out together today. Okay, I just hope you guys are ready. I hope you are all ready. So amazing. Thank you so much for the response. And now, so if you see all these things point to one direction, is that you want to change something about your life. So there is something that you want to change about your life. If it can be to get better, it can be to get richer. Let's say you are rich already, you're a rich teacher, so you want to get richer, okay? Or you are not rich as much as you want to, but then you want to have more money. You want to have a profitable teaching career. You want to upgrade yourself. You want to understand the business of teaching, okay? So the most important thing is that all these things are pointing towards something, that you want to change something in your life, that there is something that needs to be changed, because there is this thing that say it's just amazing. We are all teachers here, so one of the things we're going to we ought to understand as teachers is theory of motivation. And there's this theory that say without a need there is no motivation. Without a need, okay, it is a particular need that will motivate you to do something. Either you want to, and the need can be either you want to, or you want to get into an uncomfort or a comfortable position. Okay, either you want to satisfy a desire or you want to get away from a challenge. Okay, so that's it. So basically, this is something that you want to do. So it is either you want to get out of something or you want to get into something. So the most important thing is that you are here because there is something you want to change. Okay, now, so before we go into the business of teaching, I want to really share with you 4 powerful emotions that can help you to change anything. Okay, they can help you to change what? Anything. And these emotions are very, very important. Some of us, when I start explaining them now, you will realize why this is important. Because again, when there is no need, there is no motivation. Now, so I actually learned this from Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn. So Jim Rohn is one of the motivational speakers I listen to. And he said, and he talked about 4 emotions that can help you change your life, or that can help you turn your life around. And you need this. Now, the first of this emotion is disgust. So I want someone to please put it down there. Number 1, disgust. Disgust. And what does disgust mean? Disgust means it's like when you are fed up of something, when you say you are disgusted about something, like you cannot stand it any longer. Okay? You cannot stand it any longer. So he used this word. I think this phrase said, disgust means I have had it. You know, it's just like when someone has been frustrating your life, someone has been doing some things to you that you don't like, and you get to a point and there's just a day, the person just and they feel like, come on, I have had it. This will be the last time you will treat me this way. This will be the last time you're going to talk to me like this. This is going to be the last time I'm going to accept this from you. That's what disgust means. When you get to a point where you are sick and tired of being a broke teacher. And it's very important that you get to this point, because this emotion what is going to prepare you to action. Trust me, if you are not uncomfortable in the position you are right now, you will not change. You won't. There's no need to change if there is nothing is driving you. So one of the things, and this does not drive all of us. So the first step of actually changing is when you feel disgusted that, come on, I'm tired of collecting my salary. Amazing, this is the end of the month. Collecting my salary today, and then by the next week that's finished, I'm already collecting things on credit. So the number one is what? Disgust. That's where you get to that point where you are sick and tired, where you are tired, where you have had it. And some of you need to get to that position. Because if you don't get to that position, you will not do what is required. Trust me, let me chip this in. Understanding the business of teaching or taking advantage or creating a business out of your teaching career is not an easy thing. It's not a get rich quick. And it's not a get rich easy or easy it's not an easy path to getting rich, or it's not a get rich quick scheme. Okay, it's not a Ponzi scheme. It's something that you have to put in the work. You have to do a lot of things. Okay, but then what is going to push you to start doing what is required? Disgust. When you get to that point where you are just tired of being broke, you have done everything and you feel like, come on, I would never be this broke again. You know, there's some experience that you have and you feel like this thing will never happen to me again. So I want you to get to that point. The second thing is desire. The emotion, another emotion that is very, very important is desire. When you feel that desire to have something, when you truly want something, when you want to get a particular result. For example, you want to send your school to your student, your child, to the best school in town. You want to buy a car. You want to be the one that you don't have to run away. You want to have everything you need. You want to have everything you need. That desire. So when that desire is strong enough, it will push you to go and get what you need to get. It will push you to do what is required to get whatever you need. So you need this emotion. So the desire is talking about, I want this. This is what I want. So this is where you get into your own mind and you ask yourself, what is that I really want? And what is stopping me from getting it? Huh? So very, very important. And the second one, the third one rather, is the point where you make a decision. So the first one is disgust, when you're tired of where you are. Desire is where you get to that point of, okay, I'm tired of what I have right now. This is what I need. This is what I want. This is what I want. Decision is when you make that decision of doing what it takes to get it. So there are stages of doing what it takes to get it. Decision is talking about, I will create a business out of my teaching career. I will be a witch teacher. I'm tired of being broke. I'm tired of being passionately broke teacher. And I want to be a profitable teacher. And so I have decided to do all it takes to create a business out of my teaching career. That's decision. Decision. And then the last one, which is the most powerful, is resolve. 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 So resolve is just like when you say resolution, is when you get to that point where you have decided that this is what I want, and I'm not going to back down until I get this. I'm not going to give up until I have this. So when you get to that point where you are sick and tired of being broke as a teacher, you are ready and you have a clear picture of what you want, of the type of life you want as a teacher, and you decided to go for it. You decided to go and do everything it takes. And you have resolved that you will not back down, you will not give up until you have these things that you want. Until you have these things that you want. Trust me, you are not ready. Until you can go through all these stages, you're not ready to change your life. That's why I asked, why are you here? So if you are here because you want to change something about your life, these are the 4 stages you must go through. One, you must be disgusted. You must like get to that point where you feel like, I can't have this. I can't stand this any longer. I can't. And you decide that, okay, now this is what I want. If I don't want this, then this is what I want instead. And you decide to go and get what you want, and you resolve to not accept anything less of that you want. You promise yourself that you're going to do whatever it takes to get it. All right? So that is that. So I hope, are we getting value tonight? Are we getting value? Let me know if you're getting value. Let me know. Are we learning? Are we learning at all? Let me know if you're learning. Are we learning? Are we learning? Are we learning? Is this amazing? I can see yes. I can see yes. All right, amazing. So now let's now move on to understanding the business of teaching. Understanding the business of teaching. Okay, understanding the business of teaching. And before I go into the understanding of business of teaching itself, let's first understand what business is. So what is a business? So I want you to, so before we go on, I want to make this as interactive as possible. So what comes to your mind when you say business? So what does business mean to you? What do you understand by the word business? Okay, what does business mean to you? Because I want us to understand. Because it's easy to come and be shouting business of teaching, but let's break it down. At least we are all teachers, so we understand what teaching is, right? Yes, no, if you don't understand, then you don't qualify to be a teacher. We don't understand what teaching is. So yeah, we understand what teaching is, but let's take a look at what does business mean. Okay, what does business mean? So we now put it together. Now, what does it mean for something? What does it mean to create a business out of teaching, or what does business of teaching means? Okay, so let's take that first. So I'm putting it out to you. What does business mean? What do you understand by business? So amazing. I love this definition. Business is about adding value to something or someone and getting paid for it. Amazing. Amazing. I need more answers, please. Business. In fact, I'll give you can go to Google and go and search it. What does business mean to you? The thing is, if you don't understand what business means, you cannot understand what business of teaching is. Because it's just like we combining two words together. We're combining two words together. So if we don't understand the two root words, we don't really understand the combination of the two. Amazing, Mrs. Omoli. Thank you so much. I'm glad to have you here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I see all you do. Thank you so much, Ma. Good to see you here. Exchanging value for money. Amazing. So business is an investment that bring or yield income. Cool. So I can say this. I love this. I need more response. I need more response. Should I start calling name now? I see a lot of people here. I can see Mr. Isaac here, Mrs. Shonke. I can see Mrs. Asimao, Mrs. Efosa, yeah, Mrs. Chisom, Mrs. Yesterday. Oh no. See, I think we really have like 3 or 4 men here. So we have more. We have more, but it's okay, Sha. It's okay. So okay, so let me move on. So let me just read out the 3 definitions I have here. So one by Mrs. Obadino. Business is about adding value to something or someone and getting paid for it. Correct. Amazing. Mrs. Omole said exchanging value for money. Amazing. Business is an investment that bring or yield income. Amazing. So you see, uh, one thing that's very common about business in every way is that you always see one thing, probably maybe in different form, but at least you always see something that relates to money in business. In fact, the major aim or the major goal of every business is to make profits. To make profits, which is also another way of saying to make money, to create income. Okay, investments, exchanging of value, solving of problem, every other thing. But now, so now give the basic definition of business. And if you understand this basic definition, you will not have problem in your life again. You will not have what problem in your life again. Business is simply a platform or anything you do to solve problem for money. So businesses are people or platform. Let me use that word, platform of solving problem for money. Okay, so two things are very, very important. You solve problem and you get paid for it. So for you to be a business or for you to be in business, you must be solving a problem and you must be getting paid for it. Okay, and again, the goal of every business is to make what money. So there are people, so we have non-profit organization. They are not businesses. They are not business. Why? They solve problem, but not for what? Money. So before you can call something business, it must be what? Solving a particular problem. And it must be for profits. It must be making money from it. So now let's now bring it together. What does it now mean as a teacher? Or how is teaching now a business? So teaching is now a business in the sense that you solve a particular problem to make money. The only problem that teachers have is that you don't know that what you're doing is solving a problem. You don't know that what you're doing is solving a problem. And what that you're doing, you are teaching. So teaching is simply, I think in a recent post I made, I said teaching is just the problem teachers solve is the bridging of gap in knowledge. So a particular student don't know 1 plus 1 equals to 2. You as a mathematics teacher, you help the child go from not knowing 1 plus 1 equals to 2 to knowing 1 plus 1 equals to 2 and even knowing more. So what I've done is that you have bridged a gap. So again, when we talk about businesses, it's not just about problem alone. It's also about gap. It's also solving a need, meeting a need. Anything that people need to be solved, anything that satisfies people's need, that bridge a gap. So when you do all these things and you get paid for it, you are in business. So teachers, you are in a business. Why? Because you are solving problem. You are a mathematics teacher. What problem are you solving? You're solving problem of bridging gap in mathematics competence of your students. And that's why you are getting paid for it. In fact, if you are not in business, you'll not be getting paid your salary. You're getting paid salary because your school owner is not paying you salary because you are beautiful, or because you are handsome, or because you know how to teach. You're getting paid salary because you are solving a problem. That's why if you don't go to work, if you say you are a teacher, yes, you know how to teach, and you stay at home, no one will pay you. Because even though you have the skill, but you're not using that skill to solve any problem, so you will not get paid for it. Why someone that does not know up to what you know is teaching, because the person is solving a particular problem, the person will get paid. And you that you call yourself masters in mathematics, you will be at home and you not get paid a dime. Why? Because you only have the skill. You are not using it to solve any problem. Okay? So as a teacher, you must understand that you just teaching, you going to school every day to teach and getting paid a salary at the end of the month is a business on its own. So now, so if that is actually the business of teaching, so why is it that teachers are poor? Why is it that teachers are broke? Why? The reason for that is that you don't understand the full concept of businesses, because you are solving a problem. So one of the goals of every business, and I want you to put this down in the comment section. I want you to type it out. One of the goals of every business is expansion. Is what? Expansion. That's why if you see a business owner set up a business in a particular place, once the business starts flourishing, the person already thinking of how to set up another branch in another place. Because why? You are solving a problem. Now, let me tell you, now, I think this is just the basic truth. The basic truth is simple, is that you know that you are getting paid for the problem you are solving. And every business understand that they are getting paid based on the problem they are solving. And they understand that to get more money, they have to solve more problem. It is two ways. Either you solve more problem, you get paid, or you solve problem, that same problem for more people, and you get paid. Let me use it as an example. It's like someone that is selling bread. Okay, someone that's selling bread. So one person have a bread worth 10,000 naira. Another person has a bread worth 100,000 naira. So both of them go out to go and sell bread. Who is going to solve more problem? Who is going to come back with more money rather? So you agree is that it is the person that have 100,000 worth of bread that will come back with us more money. Why? Because the person is able to solve a problem for more people. than the person that have what? That have just 10,000 naira worth of bread. And that is the reason why teachers are poor. And that is the reason why your salary cannot make you rich. Why? Because you limit the number, you have been limited to a specific number of people that you are solving problem for. So you are a mathematics teacher. You are solving the problem of bridging the gap of mathematics competence among your students. But you already limit the number of people you solve that problem for. Every business, every successful business expand. So you cannot see a business that will now say, okay, as a business, our aim is to only serve 10 people this year. So that 10 people, that's the only one we are going to serve. So you are a close-up, let's say you are a toothpaste producer now. So you produce toothpaste and you said, okay, we want only just 10 people to buy our toothpaste this year, and that is all. Unlike, is that even possible? So as businesses, so that's why we start thinking, seeing teaching as a business, you start thinking of ways of, okay, I'm solving a particular problem in this school for this number of students. How can I increase my reach? How can I get more people? How can I solve this same problem for more people and I will get paid for it? So the reason why most teachers are not as rich as they would like to be is because they limit the number of people that have access to their solution. Okay, so they have limits. So us, the only thing you know how to do is teach in the classroom. You have already put a ceiling on your income. That's why every single teacher you see today that is very, very profitable have something they are doing beyond the four walls of their classroom. So what is now understanding the business of teaching is about? So understanding the business of teaching is simply knowing that as a teacher, you are solving problem, and that the more problem you solve, or the more people you solve a particular problem for, the more money you're going to get paid. And that your teaching career, and once you limit your teaching to your classroom, you already put a ceiling on the income you can make as a teacher. And that to now take advantage of teaching as a business, you must find a way to solve that same problem for more people. For what? More people. So I hope you understand this. So with this now, we can even end this class today, because now you understand what it means. So what it means for teaching to be a business. And you can get to school next time and start looking for what? Opportunities of, okay, start thinking of how. So the challenge now is thinking of how can you solve this same problem for more people beyond your what? Your classroom. Beyond your classroom. So if you don't, so that is really the major challenge for teaching, for teachers. Okay. Now, so before I now move on to other things about the business of teaching, because we're talking about business, so there are a lot of things we need to understand about businesses too that will really help you. So I want to really talk about three things, and I want you to pay attention. So I want to give you an open secret of making money, and this is not as a teacher, it is as for everybody. For what? Everybody. So open secrets for making money. Does it even make much sense? Because something open, you say something is open, and you say a secret that is open. Yes, so the secret is open. Why? Because the secret is available for every other person, but most people are not aware of it, and that's why they struggle. Most people are not aware of it, and that's why they struggle. And this is why I pity teachers a lot when what we complain about is not having money. And when you see a teacher, when you see a training that will tell you that, okay, come and start earning 200,000 naira per month, you jump on it. You see this opportunity, you jump on it. All right? Why? Because you don't understand the secret of making money. And the secret of making money is what is the backbone of every business. It is what every profitable business understands, and that's what they do. And what is this secret? Is that the secret is simply that you don't chase money. When you talk about business, everything, our main, the end goal is money, right? But you don't chase money. If you chase money, that's just it. Anything you chase, what will happen to anything you chase? It will run away from you. So if you chase money, money will keep running away from you. So what do you do instead? What do? You go and look for something that you go and partner with something that money is chasing. So money itself chases something. Money itself chases something. And what is that money chases? Money chases solution. So money follow solution. Again, I'll say that again. Money follow solution. This is the part of explaining what business is, and as a teacher, why you must understand that teaching is a business. So money follows solution. And what does solution follow? Solution follow problem. So what it means is that if you want to make money, provide solution to problem. That's a simple formula for making money anywhere, anytime. So regardless of wherever you are, so yeah, amazing. In other words, solution attracts money. So if you ever attended a training before, or you ever paid for a product before, you are not giving the person your money for free. You are paying in exchange for solution. And that is now where we now understand. And now I will not give you the definition for money itself. So, and I learned this from Coach Emmanuel Akpe. We say something like, money is not created. Do you agree? Now, money is not actually created. If you agree, please comment yes. Can you create money? No, you cannot create money. The only guys that create money is CBN. Yes. So you cannot create money. So money is not created. So as a teacher, you must understand that you are not here to create money. Money is not created. So what is now happening to money? Money is collected. So your own is to collect money. Your own, you don't have any business trying to create money. You don't need it. What you need to do is collect money. But how will you collect money? You collect money in exchange for value, in exchange for a solution to a problem. I hope you're getting this. So you can only collect money in exchange. Thank you. You are a money collector. So you are not a money creator. You collect money. But no one will give you money unless you're an armed robber that will collect money by force. And we don't have someone like that here. Because even if you are that type of person, you will not even come here at all. So you collect money in exchange for a solution to a problem. So I hope you get what I'm saying. So if you want more money, solve more problem. Someone type that out. If you want more money, solve more problem. And to even explain more about that, I'm going to quickly teach you two things. And this thing actually, these things changed my life. It was 2019. I mentioned earlier that once I was immediately I got out of college of education, I started teaching. I started like working as a computer operator and instructor. And there was a particular day I was just going through the system, the laptop I'm using at work, and I saw a particular slide and a particular PowerPoint slide, and I opened it. And the first thing I saw was a quote by Zig Ziglar. A quote by what? Zig Ziglar. And he said, and I want you to understand this, so that whenever you are broke, whenever you need anything, this is something that you must be in your mind. In fact, if you don't learn anything today, and this is the only thing you pick away from this class today, you are good to go, because it will help your life. Now, what is this thing? The thing is as simple as, the code is as simple as, you can have anything you want. You can have anything you want. This is a conditional statement. You can have anything you want if you can just give enough people what they want. I'm going to say that again. I don't know. Do you understand this? Are you getting it? You can have everything. Yes, you don't even anything. Every single thing that you want in life. If only you are willing to give enough people what they want. Do you catch it? So what this means is that no matter thing, regardless of whatever you want to have in life, you can have it. Once you can give others what they want. So what do you want? You want money and someone needs water. You have water. It's just like trade by barter. You have solution. Someone else has money. So if you give your solution to the person will give you their own what? Money. But the problem with us is that we only want to have. We don't want to what? Give. So you understand that you must give first before you have. It will be okay for you. When you understand that to solve your own problem, you only need to solve other people's problem. If you have money problem, you want to solve money problem. The simple solution to solving money problem is to go and solve another problem for someone that has the money. So when you solve the problem for the person that have money, the person will give you money in return, and the money they give you will solve your own money problem. So again, you can have whatever you want to have in life, if only you are willing to give enough people what they want. And what do they want? They want solution. They want their need met. They want their needs satisfied. They want a gap in their life filled. My son is struggling with mathematics. I need a very good mathematics teacher that will help me to bring him up to understand maths very well, to start performing excellently in mathematics. That is my problem. Your own problem is you need money. Okay, can you teach my child mathematics so that they will be very good in maths? Yes. Oh yeah, come and teach my child. I will give you money. That is how it works. That is how it works. And so beyond just understanding that you can get whatever you want if you give people what they want, you must now, the most important thing, part of that quote, is enough. And that is why most teachers are poor. Do you get it? The reason why most teachers are poor is that you are giving people what they want, but you are not giving enough people what they want. And until you start giving enough people what they want, you cannot have enough of what you want to. Do you see the logic? So when you get to that position where you can give enough people what they want, so the question is, as a mathematics teacher, I'm sorry I'm using mathematics, I'm a mathematics teacher actually, or as an English teacher actually, is it all the people that need your solution that you are providing solution to? Answer that question, please. That the reason why you don't have enough is because you are not giving enough people access to your solution. And that's why, am I saying you should not teach in the classroom? No, teach in the classroom, but also find a way to be able to teach beyond your classroom, because your classroom is finite. There's a limited number of people you can teach in your classroom, and that's where the internet comes in, because the internet can help you to serve enough people. For example, I'm here in Ijebu, okay, and on a normal day, these are 18. I think we are 18 here on this call, and I've asked earlier. I've seen someone from Ijebu, someone from Ogijo, someone in Ogun State, someone in Lagos, someone in Port Harcourt. So without the internet, for me to be able to talk to you, I have to be in the same physical location with all of you. That's the limitation of your classroom. That you have to be in the same location with your students to be able to teach them. And so if you are not, and so because of that, there's a limit on the number of people that can have access to your solution. So if, for example, the only thing I can do is teach people that are in the same location with where I am, that means the only person I can be able to reach here is Miss Juliana, because she's the only one in Djibouti. So I just need to go to her house and say, oh yeah, I want to teach you the business of teaching, and I'll start teaching her. But because amazing, it's possible too that you are giving wrong people your solution. Yes, it's possible that the right people, you are not giving the right people your solution. That the people you are serving may not actually even be the people that need your solution. It's also possible. So what I'm trying to say now is that, so without the internet, I would have to come to each area and speak to one person at a time. Do you know what that will cost me? So that's why you must also be willing to leverage technology, okay, as a teacher, because it's not something, there's a place where when you talk about technology, you talk about, okay, you can use it to improve your teaching and learning, you can use it to do all these things. Yes, it's possible, but the most important thing is it gives you access to the world. It gives you what? Access to the world. It gives you access to get out of the limits of your classroom. Yes, that we have been limiting ourselves. Why? Because if you don't serve enough people, you will not get enough of what you want. Trust me, you will not get what? Enough of what you want. Now, the last thing I want to talk about, which is also around this, is something we call law of affection. And this is also talking about the matter of enough. So this is saying that the amount of money you have corresponds to the number of people that have access to your solution or to the degree of problem you're solving. Okay, so the more problem you solve, the more money you have. And this is very, very important. Again, that you must know that it is not just enough to solve problem. You must solve problem for enough people. Okay, you must solve problem for enough people. And so when you start seeing this teaching as a business, you start thinking beyond the four walls of your classroom. You're a very good mathematician. You start thinking of, okay, what about those kids let's say for example, you're in Lagos State. So you start thinking, what about those kids in Ogun State that does not have good mathematics teacher? How can I reach them? So that's why I said, for you to start seeing the limitless opportunity and possibility in the teaching profession. The thing is that there are some things you will never, there are some things in your front like this, in front of you, that you will never see until you are exposed to something higher. So in fact, I can assure you that by the time you get back to school first time, there are some opportunities that are being in front of you that you do not see, but you start seeing them. It's not because they are just there or they just get there, but because you are just the one that have not been exposed to that higher reality to even know that these things exist. Okay, so when you start seeing teaching as a business, you start being in, you start getting, like, seeing how you can take advantage of this opportunity. You start seeing ways that you can actually make more money, because now you realize that, okay, your salary is not increasing. Yes, fuel has increased. Fuel is probably 700 now. Transport fare have increased, but let me ask you, has your salary increased? No. So it means it has never been more important and urgent for you to start thinking of, okay, how can I solve more people with my solution? Because the thing is, the number of students you are taking before fuel increase is still the number of students you are taking when fuel increased. So how will I expect your school owner to increase your salary? That's one. Two, and I know we also have school owners here, is that there was a time, and that's another thing. See, we start thinking like a businessman. There are a lot of things that you complain about as a teacher that you stop complaining about. Because you also understand that your school owner is also in business. So your school now is in business, and the main purpose of business is to make profits. Yes, it's to make what? Profits. And your school now cannot give you what he or she does not have. So you start seeing that, okay, if, like, all these students have paid their school fee before fuel increases, and your school now can only pay you out of the amount, out of the school fee the student have paid. So you see that even though you are agitated, you're feeling like, my money is not enough, my salary cannot even, is my transport fare, my transport fare is not even equal to the amount I'm collecting as salary. And you're not expecting your school now to start doing some kind of magic, start giving you extra payments. I'm not against it, but I'm just trying to let you see from the perspective of a businessman that your school now can only give you out of the money that comes in. And this money that comes in, does not comes in before there's hike in fuel prices. So that means, for example, now if your school owner is collecting 50,000 naira per student before, and is paying you, let's say 25,000, let's say they're paying 100k, 100,000 naira as salary, and you are collecting 50,000 naira as salary, as your own salary. The student are paying 100k as school fee, considering other expenses and every other thing. Now, fuel price has increased. Your school owner cannot go to the parent and say, okay, come and pay additional 50,000 naira. So everything is still being run on that 100,000 naira that has been paid already. So that means it will be very hard for your school owner to also increase your own salary, because that is what businesses do. So when you start thinking about it, you see you have more empathy for your school owner, and you will complain less. You will not complain as much again, because you realize that these guys too are running business and they cannot afford to run at loss, because even you do not care as much. If your school owner owe you 2 or 3 months salary, now you will stop coming, you find another school that will pay you more. That is it. So, but then what now means that you must understand that your own school owner is in a business for herself, not for you. So you too, you must go into business for yourself. You must go into what? Business for yourself. So I've really spent a lot of times explaining what business of teaching is about. So let me ask you now, do you understand what the business of teaching is about now? Do you understand what it means to create a business of teaching? Do you understand what it means to start seeing the business side of teaching? And the most important thing you must know, you must remember, is that for you to make more money, you must solve problems for enough people. That's the goal of every business. Now, if business wants to make more profits, you have to reach more people with your solution. So the question now is that how are you going to reach more people with your solution? So let me quickly go through some things I've written down here. So remember that we are in business, and businesses get paid for solution. And in the process of creating this solution is what we call production. You agree with me? That the process of creating solution is what we call, because our solution is going to be in form of products. And the process of creating that solution, that product, is called what? Production. Now, do you now remember, if you're not an economics teacher, if you're an economics teacher, you know this. If you're not an economics teacher, remember what you are taught in secondary school. The 4 pillars, the 4 factors of production. So I'm not going to tell you. I want you to put it out there for me. So someone please list out the 4 factors of production. Because trust me, you are not in a business. So you're also a producer too. So you have to start thinking in line with these things. So that means if you are in business, if you are a producer, that means you also have, if you are a producer, you must also take into consideration the 4 factors of production. Oh yeah, so what are the 4 factors of production? So we now explain amazing. I can see land. I can see I can see, okay, sell, amazing. I wasn't ready. What is the meaning of sell? So that's the acronym for it. So we have land, labor, capital, and entrepreneur. So how does this mean for you? What does this mean for you as a teacher? Remember, you're now in you are the production, you are the producer itself. So all these things actually applies to you. So what does land mean in production? Land means the place where you create the products, the place where the product is being created, because you cannot create products on the air. So right now, your land is your school, because that is where you deliver your solution. So the question now is that, can you expand that land? Now let me give you a very quick example so you can know. Right now, I am producing. So let me ask you, what is my land? Right now, I am producing. I hope you agree with me. So what is my land right now? Internet. Thank you. So to be specific, my land right now is this Telegram group. My land right now is this Telegram group, because this is where I'm producing. Thank you, the cyberspace. This is where I'm producing. So before, the land is only limited to the physical space, the land that we know. Right now, part of your land that teachers are not taking advantage for is the internet, because your land connotes two things. First thing, the place where you produce your solution. Second, the place where you meet with the person that you are going to what? Exchange your solution with. Okay? That is your land. Second factor, labor. So labor is the people working in your company. And most of the time, businesses start with one person. So right now, the only person that is laboring for you right now is you. So the only labor you have is you. Because labor are the people that are what? So let me use teachers as an example. So school as an example, rather. The school, the labor in school are teachers because they are the workers. But when you start seeing yourself, your own single person, you as a single person, as a business on your own, you realize that you are still your labor because you are the one doing the teaching, you are the one going around, doing all these things. And then before you know it, you can expand, you can have your own team. I've seen a lot of people that have online tutoring company, and then they have more people that they bring up on their what's it called, on their team, and their own is just to go out there, promote the online tutoring. They will tell you if you need a tutor in Abeokuta in this place, they will get it for you. That's it. So now, so labor is talking about the fact that you cannot go alone. You need team. Okay. For example, now, and this is where collaboration comes in. So, for example, you're a mathematics teacher. Can you collaborate with an English teacher and do something together? English and maths, they go together. They go in line with each other. So how can you? And you must understand that the more labor you have, the more you can produce. Come on. The more people you have in your company, the more you can produce. It's just like all these mathematics questions. They will tell you if 5 people can cut a grass, in five people can, let me see, 5 people can build 5 acres of, or can clear 5 acres of land. How many acres of land will 10 people clear? Very simple. 10 acres of land. It means the more people you have in your team working for you, the more you can what? The more production you can have. And that is where the internet also comes in. Because it means the internet can help you to duplicate your what? And that is another limitation that teachers have. Why? Because we are our only labor. Once you are teaching in a particular class right now, you are the only one teaching in that class. So that means it is only the class that you teach right now that you make money from. And once you stop teaching that class, money stop. And you want to use that class again because it has gone. For example, now I was telling you, when I first get there, I was saying that my aim for this training is to what? Empower 500 teachers. Now we have 73 members here now. So we are done with this thing. I'm going to put out the record in here. Yes, I'm going to put the record in here. And I'm going to get more people to join. So what does that mean? I have duplicated my effort. So I'm only doing this once. But people are going to get access to it over and over. So I've duplicated my what? My labor. So what that means that I only need to labor once. And laboring, just one time of labor is going to duplicate itself over a period of time. I have a lot of people here that have taken my course, that have joined my training on Flip Classroom, a lot of them. And you will see, what do I do for my training? I record videos. And one video that I recorded on a particular thing, I can give it to a lot of teachers at the same time to watch, just like just now. Do you know what it will take for me to speak to how many people here? This is 17 people here right now. So excluding me, that's 16. And I've been talking for 1 hour, 4 minutes now. So do you know what it's going to take for me to have a 1 hour, 4 minutes conversation with each person? So that's what? Duplication. Again, that is part of what the internet has helped you to achieve. So that's why the internet is a blessing for you as a teacher. And if you are not thinking about this, and it is only when you start seeing teachers as a business that you realize that, okay, your income is so limited to the number of people that you have working for you. But then the internet has removed that, so that even as a as a one-man business, you can still be able to duplicate your efforts. You can be able to work once and be able to use that thing as many times as possible. Now, what's the next one? Capital. So capital is what you start with. Capital is what you use to start the business. And then, is capital only money? No. So capital deals with knowledge. Capital is just all the resources you need. Sorry, please, are we still with me? Can you hear me clearly? Or are we just listening very attentively? So capital are all the resources you need to be able to produce, to even start your production in the first place. That's what capital means. So what is capital? So for you now, one of your capital is, okay, how do you use internet? How do you duplicate your efforts? Right now, what you are getting from here now is a form of capital. Because without this, yeah, amazing. Basic knowledge of the subject matter is a capital, because you cannot give what you don't have. Thank you, Mrs. Fatima. You cannot give what you don't have. So knowing that subject is a form of capital. Knowing how to pass it across to your student is a form of capital. Knowing how to duplicate your effort, all your knowledge, your skill, your money. Right now, your data is your capital. Because without your data, what can you do? You cannot be here. Right now, your phone is part of your capital. Do you get it? So you also need to invest in your business as a teacher. So there's no free business anywhere. There's no business you will start with no capital. No. The question is, but the thing is, when you hear capital, you're only focusing on money. Right now, the thing that some of you need in your business right now, which is teaching, is capital, which is not money, but capital of knowledge. Of, okay, how do I package my knowledge so that I can be able to duplicate my efforts, so that if I create this knowledge once, I can be able to get it out to as many people as possible. That's one capital on its own. Okay, so that is capital. So capital is all the resources, all the knowledge, all the skills, everything you need to be able to start your production from the beginning to the end. That is capital. Then the last thing, entrepreneur. So who is the entrepreneur? So let me ask that question. Who is the entrepreneur now? Who is the entrepreneur? Who is the entrepreneur? So we're talking about the 4 factors of production. I've talked about the first one, second one, third one. It is not me, it is you. Yeah, it is you. That's it. So the entrepreneur is me. Yes, the entrepreneur is what? Me, the teacher. So you have seen a lot of things that the teacher has to represent, because it's a one-man business. So it is the teacher. And what do entrepreneurs do? Entrepreneurs are they are the thinking part of the business. Because they're the one that come up with innovative ideas, come up with, okay, how do we solve this thing? They're the one that without the entrepreneur, they are the one that combine the land, the labor, and the capital together. You get what I'm saying? So they can be land. In fact, there's internet. The internet is there. They can be labor. They can be capital. But an entrepreneur is one that will come and combine these 3 things together to facilitate the production. We get the people that can mold the block. We get the place where they can mold the block. We provide the capital that they're going to use to buy the block. So that is it. So as a teacher, you are the entrepreneur. So all this subject matter, your knowledge in mathematics, how to put things together, how to use the internet, how to use Facebook, how to do all these things, you are now the one that will be able to put it together. And that's another challenge that teachers have. We are not able to put all these things together to be able to produce, at least on our own. So what your school owner, so it is easy to work with someone else, because all these things has been taken care of. So you realize that from here now, you realize that when you are teaching for someone else, you are only in one role. You only have say in one place. You are only one part. You are only one part out of 4 factors of production, which is what? Labor. But when you are the teacher, when you start seeing teaching as a business, you realize that you cut across all the 4. And in fact, you are the entrepreneur, because you are the one that connects all the other 3 factors together. You are the one that combine them in the right proportion to give what? To produce, which will lead to what? Income, which will lead to what? Money. All right. So I want to know, because actually I'm supposed to stop here, but I will not. I just need to quickly, I'll just quickly explain some other things and then we'll call it a day. So let me know. Has this been valuable so far? If you are if you had someone saying business of teaching, is it going to make sense to you? Do you understand what business of teaching is now? I want to know, please. Do you understand what business of teaching is now? Does it make sense? Or is it that am I just blowing grammar? Am I just like speaking or just trying to show up? And I made a promise when I begin this session that I promise that you're not going to waste your time. I promise that this is going to be one of the best things you ever do for yourself in your teaching career. Is that promise fulfilled? Have I wasted your time? Is this thing, do you feel like this something can change your teaching career for good? It's enriching. Thank you. Amazing. Let's keep it coming, please. Amazing. Okay. So I've just explained what the business of teaching is about. I've gone deeper. In fact, I surprised myself. A lot of things that I explained tonight are things that I've never entered my head before. But I'm glad there are things I've never taught anywhere before. And I'm glad that this is the first time I'm teaching it. And I'm really glad that you are experiencing this. And the most important thing now is that you don't just learn this, but actually put them into action. And that's why, and remember, you are the entrepreneur. So you just have to start thinking, okay, I have this knowledge. Remember, your knowledge is also part of your capital. I have this knowledge now. I have this labor. I have this land, the internet. Okay, I cannot combine my knowledge and the land, which is the internet, together to produce, to solve problems so that I can make money. Now, let me quickly share with you things that you can make money from as a teacher. Okay, so we have 4 areas that you can make money from as a teacher. Okay, number 1, the subject you're teaching. So these are just 4 ways to make money from the subject you're teaching itself. Number 1, how to teach the subject. So, for example, now you're a mathematics teacher with over 10 years or 5 years experience of teaching. I have been seeing a lot of teachers complain about teaching mathematics, struggling with students that are not that find it difficult to teach mathematics. And this is what diction coach do. You see a lot of diction coach, they will train other teachers to become what? Diction coach. So they are teaching other teachers how to teach diction. That is a way of them making money. That's how they make their own what? Money. They teach teacher how to teach that particular subject. So you're a math teacher, you can become the mathematics doctor. You teach teachers how to teach math. You teach mathematics teacher how to effectively teach mathematics. That's one way. 2 is you teach students how to effectively learn the subject. Okay, so there are teachers that, for example, now you've been teaching, you've been producing students that have amazing, fantastic results in WAEC. And then you have now discovered that, okay, there are ways that students can go about learning a particular, let's say, for example, biology, that they can study it so that they will have A's. You have A in their biology. Can you create something on that? It is part of solving problem. The problem is that the only problem we solve, the only thing that our eyes open to is teaching of the subject itself. So I'm not even talking about that because everybody knows that one. So these are 4 other ways to make money from your teaching, from your subject, beyond just teaching in the classroom, teaching that student in the classroom. 1, how to teach that subject. 2, how to learn that subject. 3, the content of that subject. Can you make money from it? And what do I mean by content? Your textbook, your materials. Can you create materials? You have lesson notes. You create this lesson notes. You spend hours writing lesson notes. Can you put it together? Call it textbook. Call it understanding anything. or clinical guide. You too, you call your own hidden secrets or hidden facts. Put it there. Put your name. No, these are how this thing starts. But the thing is, again, you cannot start thinking in this line if you don't see teaching as a business. No, you cannot start thinking in this line, along this line. Now, the last one is your story and unique experience teaching that subject. So you have been teaching this subject for years. So what are your experience? What are the things you can share with other teachers, with upcoming teachers that will help them? Can you write a book? Can you write a course? Can you create a course? Can you write a book on how to be a successful mathematics teacher? No, I'm just giving you ideas this night, and you're not paying for this. Come on, you will pay, Sha. You still pay for it. Okay, so you get what I'm saying? How to be a successful mathematics teacher, or how to be a successful English teacher. In fact, how to be a successful teacher. You have become a successful teacher yourself, and you feel like, okay, I want other people to become a successful teacher. How? So you write a book on that, or you have a training program for that, or you take teachers through a lot of things. Okay, so that is it. So these things are not things. And I remember I posted something on my Facebook. And if you're not following me on Facebook, please, also you're done here. Do I'm going to create a post about this session, uh, about how amazing this session was, and I'm going to send the link here. So your own is just to click on the link and drop a word of encouragement, or just drop your feedback about the training, or in the comment section of that particular post. What I want to say before is that if you're not following me on Facebook, this is the best time to start following me. I know some of you join from group, WhatsApp, group, every other thing. Follow me on Facebook as Abdulateef Adedeji. That's my name. So recently I posted something on Facebook and I said, it is not what you don't have that limits you. It is what you have but don't know how to use. If you check all this that I'm shouting about, mentioning about, they are not new things. They are something you have already. But because you don't know how to use them, because you don't know what they are used, it's just like someone that they give armor, but you don't know, you have armor in your hand, you have nail, but you don't know what they use armor and nail to do. So you just hold it and just relax and chill. But once you know that, okay, when you have armor and nail, what do? You hammer the nail, like you start like putting the nail into the wall and start hammering on it. So that's it. So I'm asking you, what do you have? What do you have? So quickly, our time is fast spent. So let me quickly give you a run through of things that hinder teachers from creating a business out of their teaching career. Okay, and this might be one of the things that are holding you back too. A lot of things that hold teachers back from creating a business out of the teaching career. So number one, mindset. So your mindset goes a long way in determining what you do. So most of the time, what hold most people back from doing, and this is very, very profound, because the thing is, if you remember, this is as I shared in the beginning of the class, if you remember that most of the time, most of you that are here, when you are going through a business, you are going through it because you want to make money. You want to make money. Okay, wow, this is Miss Sophia. You know what? Send me a message on WhatsApp. Send me a message on WhatsApp. Okay, Miss Sophia, please send me a message on WhatsApp. This is not something I can teach here. Okay, though actually, so Miss Sophia is asking a question. How can I get my parents to pay using the internet to teach something I also teach them in class, probably using WhatsApp or the Google Classroom or the Telegram? And how do I make them pay for my service? There are a lot of ways to do that, but it's actually beyond the scope of this. And actually, I'm going to be giving some opportunity to some teachers here for them to actually learn all these things in depth. So you don't just learn it, but you also be able to apply it in your own unique situation. Okay, so there will be an opportunity for that. But then the most important, so as I was saying, factors injury teachers from creating a business from their teaching career. Number one, your mindset. So most of you have believed from the beginning that teachers are poor. And because you believe teachers are poor, you also act in ways that is going to make you poor or make you remain poor. Most of us don't want to become a teacher from the beginning, from the onset. But because of some things happen, some conditions, we find ourselves in the teaching profession and we just stay there. Okay, but because the script is still running, we are still running on that script of teachers are poor, I don't want to be a teacher and all those things. It affected you and it is holding you back. Another thing is identity. I won't say this. The day that thing came to my mind, I was like, wow, this is crazy. And what is that thing? It's simply that to be a successful teacher, you must stop being a teacher. Does it make sense? To be a, and I want you to write it out now. Don't worry. I believe you trust me. That's why you are here. That's why you are still here. So I want you to write this thing out before you even explain that to be a successful teacher, I must stop being a teacher. I must stop being a teacher. To be a successful teacher, Abdulatif, I'm telling you right now, to be a successful teacher, I, Abdulatif, must stop being a teacher. I have stopped. That's why I am at least to my extent, I'm a successful teacher. We are still going to go bigger than this. And that's how I can be here. And why is that important? Because your identity. The thing is, teachers, people generally, we act based on our identity. Now, the question is, when I ask you who is a teacher, what comes to your mind? Right now, I am teaching. Right now, do you know I am teaching? But will you call me a teacher because of what I'm doing right now? No, because the people we call teachers are people teaching in the classroom. And where? And because that's what we perceive teachers to be. We perceive teachers as that person that teaches in the classroom. Ask me, am I not teaching right now? So, don't I have to be a teacher? Yes, I am a teacher right now. So, because our definition of teacher limit teacher to the classroom. So, because of that, if you don't change that identity of being someone that pass knowledge across wherever you are, whether in the classroom or outside the classroom, you cannot be successful. Because what that means that you will still be walking around, will still be walking in circle, still be doing that thing that you call teaching in a confined wall, in the four walls of your classroom, because that is what they define teachers to be for you. They define teachers to be those people that teach in the classroom. So it's very, very rare for you to see a coach. So tell me, a trainer, what is he doing? Is he not teaching? A coach, what is he doing? Is he not teaching? So these guys, they are teaching, but because they know that if they call themselves teacher for you, you will downgrade them. So they put it. So for me now, I will not come and tell you I'm a flip classroom teacher. God forbid. I'll call you I'm a flip classroom coach. I'm a flip classroom expert. Why? Because those things are packaging. Yes. But what do? You stay in that zone of teacher, and it confines you to the four walls of a classroom. So again, I'm saying this again. To be a successful teacher, you must stop being a teacher. You have to stop. And what I mean by stop being a teacher is not that you stop teaching, but you go beyond the limited definition of who a teacher is. Is anyone getting value? Is this making sense at all? Then another thing is imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome is when you start feeling like an imposter, when you're feeling like you don't have enough, start feeling like you're not enough, that you don't have the knowledge required to be able to take your teaching beyond your classroom. When you start feeling like, I mean, I'm just a teacher, I can only teach, I can only perform well in the teaching, in the classroom, because in that particular place now, you don't have much of competition, you don't have much of people looking at you. The only people that can tell you that your teaching is not as good as it's supposed to be are your students or the teacher in your school. When you start putting yourself out of the world, you are more exposed to other people, you are more exposed to you are more likely to be criticized. So imposter syndrome, have the feeling of, and this is something we have, the feeling of, okay, I'm only an NC graduate. And let me tell you, let me tell you right now, because I told you I was an NC graduate in 20, I finished my NC in 2019. So right now I'm still in the university. But yeah, I just finished my exam, my first semester 300 level exam last, I think 2 weeks ago. And I'll be resuming for second semester tomorrow in school. Yes, I'm currently studying mathematics education. And one of the things I struggle with, I struggle a lot with then is that I know all these things. And I'm not feeling like, okay, how will an NC teacher be teaching graduate teachers? And I've been to a school before to tell them about me teaching them introducing them to the flipped classroom. And the first thing, the first question the teacher asked, the school owner asked me was, which school do you finish from? I told the person, I'm an NC graduate. You feel like, how will you expect an NC graduate, you an NC graduate, to start teaching a BSc graduate? I was like, and that experience actually shaked me. The experience actually have a lot of impact on me. Like, I have to go back, I have to convince myself that this is not about being an NCA graduate. This is something I'm capable. This is something I'm enough. This is something that I know. So regardless of whether I'm an NCA, whether I'm a BSc, whether I'm a master degree, this is it is irrelevant in this particular area. Does that mean that my degree is not important? It's very important. In fact, that's one of the reasons why I put a lot of efforts, like to get into university, to finish my degree program as soon as I can. Because I know that there are some doors that will never open. No matter how much you know, they will feel like, yeah, you are not this. But I decided that will not stop me. Because assuming I give in to that fear, to that imposter syndrome, I will not be here tonight. Tell me, I want to ask you, if I don't tell you I'm an NCA graduate, I don't have my degree, is it evident in everything I've been teaching since morning? Everything I've been teaching morning, does it sound like someone that have just an NCE degree? No. So it's just a story you tell yourself. Okay, I've just been teaching in 2 years. I just have 2 years of experience, so I cannot be able to do this. I'm just a teacher, so I can't be able to do this. I'm a teacher in Ogun State. It's only teacher in Lagos that do all those things. I'm a teacher in one village in Ibadan. It's only teachers it's only teachers in big cities that do all those things. No. Though when I started my training as a teacher, start training teachers, I started from Port Harcourt. Yeah, Port Harcourt. But then at the time and even those Port Harcourt, I always take letters to schools to come and invite for them to come and to train them for free. They will not answer me. By the time I get to offer in Kwara State, and I increase my capacity, like I've learned a lot, I push myself more, I started getting invited from schools. I remember the first one I got invited to was in Ibadan to come and train. After Ibadan, I was invited to Lagos to go and train teachers. And guess what? The most amazing thing about it is that same Port Harcourt that I have been handing out letters that I want to train them, and they don't give me a response. I was invited from a whole of offer to come and train schools, not for free now, paid to come and train in Port Harcourt. We have 2 days training. I don't know if I think Mrs. Chisom is from Port Harcourt. So I don't know if you know Visom Vice School. I think it's I want Ada George or something. So that was the school. So that is part of it. So you have to overcome your imposter syndrome a lot before you can be able to get anything done. And this is one of the things that hold a lot of teachers back. All right. Another thing, lack of courage to do something different. You know, all this I'm talking about, you realize you are good with me that these are not things that teachers do on a normal day. So it takes courage to do things that most people are not doing. And most teachers lack that courage, the courage to be different. In fact, in your school, you have that teacher that do things that other teachers are not doing. And even you yourself might be one of the teachers that actually, make jest of the person. Like, this guy, you too like money. You like money. Oh, you can do all this things. You are the one. You are the one here. You are the one that place. You are the one in this training today. You are the one in this training. You are the one doing this. You are the one doing that. Yeah, because it takes you to do, just like when I share my story in the beginning, that I realized that I have to do something. I want to achieve a different result. I want to be a teacher, but my teacher must come with a difference. And so because of that, it empowers me. It gives me that drive to do a lot of things that teachers are not willing to do. So I attend trainings that you will never find teachers attend. Then I remember even when I was in the offer, I would come from offer. I traveled then. I think that was the first time I would go to Lekki side. 2021, I traveled all the way from Kwara State to come and attend training in Lagos. Yes, the training, is it teaching training? No, it's not teaching training. I don't know if anyone know Edwin Ejiwo here. Come and attend Global Business Masterclass. You hear the word Global Business Masterclass. A teacher coming to come and attend a training on how to create a global business. So, and when you see me teach about all this, they feel like, this small boy. No, it's investments, because it takes courage to be able to do that, to be able to go from one place to one place, going for trainings, investing in myself. The thing is, are you ready to do that for yourself too? Yes. All these things are what you must overcome. All these factors are what you must work on to be able to get to the place where you can confidently and comfortably create a business, not just business, a profitable one out of your teaching career. The next thing, lack of courage to put a fear in your knowledge. So you don't put a fee, you cannot put a fee in your knowledge. You know something, but these guys will just come. They will ask you, okay, at the German Baba, please be helping this student is lacking behind in math, so you start doing free extra lesson. So anybody can just come and tap into your knowledge. No, you have to have the confidence, the courage to put a fee in your knowledge, to know that you deserve to get paid. We have talked about this. That you get paid for solution. So most teachers, they have solution, but they don't know that they don't have the enough confidence to demand payment for that solution. And as a business, how can you survive if you are giving people your solution for free? So you have to get paid for it. But then I don't blame you, because I've realized that for you to have the confidence and courage to ask people to pay you for your knowledge, even you yourself, you must have paid other people. And that's why I'm saddened when I see a lot of teachers going after free things. And I will ask you, what if this thing is actually a paid training? How many of you are going to be here? How many of you will even register at all if it's a paid training? Because the thing is, if you cannot pay others, you cannot have the confidence to ask other people to pay you too. So when you pay, I can confidently ask you to pay me to be part of this event. Why? Because I paid my due. I just told you now that back in 2021, October 2021, October 16, I remember then I was still putting my admission. My post-CME to enter National University of Education then was October 20. And I have to come and I have a training I must attend October 16. You see that combination? So and I have to pay. I can remember as at that time the training was 10,000 naira, which is just like even a steal. Like the lady just give it out 10,000 naira. But guess what? The amount of money I spent for transport even is more than that 10,000 naira. Because coming from Offa, I have to come from Offa to Ibadan, from Ibadan, Ijebode to Lekki, go Ajah, all those places. If I come back. So, but because I have paid my own due, it becomes I'm comfortable to ask other people, try other people to also pay me. The question is, have you paid your due? So if you have not paid other people, you will not have the courage to ask others to pay you too. Okay? And the last thing I'm going to say here before we close is lack of selling skill. Most teachers, those that even like pass through all these things I've mentioned, they don't know how to sell. And if you don't know how to sell, you will beg. Either you sell or you beg. So most teachers don't know how to sell. And that's really what it's there. And that's really the biggest problem, or one of the challenges teachers have, is that you don't know how to sell. To add, I think I've explained a lot about this, and you have seen that already. You don't know how to leverage internet. That's part of knowing how to sell too. You know how to leverage the internet. You know how to. I think Mrs. Obadino mentioned something like use selling to the wrong people, giving a solution to the wrong people. So you don't also know how to segment the people, know how to identify your own audience, the people that can pay you for your own knowledge, because not everybody can pay you. Not everybody is your customer. Everybody cannot be your customer. So all these things are things that you have to pay attention to. You have to work on. You have to make sure you overcome them before you can even have a chance of creating a business out of your teaching career. Okay, so here is where I'm going to put a stop to it tonight. Let me know, how is this for you? How is this for you? How is this for you? How? And then the most important question now is, are you ready to create a business out of your teaching career? If you're ready, comment yes, 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 yes. Are you ready to create a business out of your teaching career? Who is ready to create a business out of his or her teaching career? Who is ready? Who is ready? Who is ready? If you're ready, comment yes. If you're ready, comment yes. Comment yes. Comment yes. Okay, and I want this to be very short. I don't want to really spend more time on this. Okay, and here is this. But for people that are ready to get a pin out of their teaching career, I'm going to be having a training very soon. The training is going to be a 7 days training where I'm going to take you through all the pillars that you need to know. Even most of the things I explained today, I'm going to expand more on them. I'm not just explain them for your knowledge, for knowledge's sake, but also for application's sake. So I'm going to be having the training. This training is not free. And I say that with all sense of humility and sense of and all confidence that the training is not free, but the training has been made affordable for all teachers that are ready for this. So the value of everything you're going to be getting in the training is over 10,000 naira. Yes, over 10,000. But the training is just going to go for 2,500 naira. And the way the training is going to be facilitated is that I cannot like take on a lot of people. So the training is only limited to 20 persons. And the reason why the training has to be limited to 20% is that after going through the training, I'm going to have at least a 1 hour session with every participant of the training. So you can see that that's 20 hours. So I have to talk with each person. So in that case now, I cannot duplicate my value the way I explained earlier. So I have to talk with each person for 1 hour. So where we are going to dissect. So all these things that you are going to, they have learned. So they have to now, okay, put it into perspective. Okay, how can you now implement it in your own unique way, your own unique situation? So I will have to have a strategic section with this person. And trust me, this 1 hour strategy session itself, it's worth over 10,000 naira on its own. Not to talk of every other thing you're going to be learning. So in the training, you're going to learn mindset reprogramming. So you're going to get exposed to all this negative mindset that you have that might be holding you back. You're going to learn how to re-engineer your mind so that your mind is set for success. Okay, so and this is very, very important because if your mind is not ready for the success you want, you will never get it. So the mind part is there. You're also going to learn how to build your personal brand. You learn how to analyze your own audience, how to identify your profit centers. So your profit centers are the different areas that you can make money from. So you're going to learn all these things at just what 2,500 naira. Remember, this is just for it's not even first, it's just for 20 teachers. So if you're ready to get into the training, if you're ready for this and you're ready to get into the training, I'm going to drop the account details to pay to now because I don't really want, in fact, this is just because this is the first edition. I can promise you the second edition will not be as cheap as this. Will not be as cheap as this, but at least as the maiden edition, as the first set of people that get access to this. And this is something that I have to really sit down and feel like, come on, is this something I want to do? But because I realized that this is something I must do, I might be wondering, okay, why am I not doing it for free? Again, you must know, one, I have the privilege of deciding what I'm going to teach for free and what I'm going to get paid to teach. Two is that if you get everything for free, you will not, it's not as if you will not get the value, but you will not place the accorded value on it. And the thing is, you are trying to learn how to make money. So you have to use money to make money. So if I teach you all these things for free and you get everything for free, and you want to get to also ask people to pay you for your own knowledge, you will not be able to ask them because, again, you have not paid your due. So that is why it is so. And another thing is that it will also separate people that are just interested, because there's a difference between being interested in something and being committed. Remember the first things we started with, the emotions: disgust, desire, decision, and what? And resolve. So until you are, what's it called? So it also separates people that are just, no, there's no certification for this. That's another thing. If I teach you on Flip Classroom, I'm going to certify you as a Flip Classroom expert, as someone that's gone through the Flip Classroom. But this one, the only certification, you are not using this knowledge to get job anywhere. You're not using this knowledge to show any people that you know this. The knowledge is going to be evident in your results, in your what results. So you don't need to show any, you don't need certification. It's the only thing, the certification you're going to get is the result you will produce after the end of the training. Okay. And again, as I said, the training is just what, 2,500 naira. So if you're ready to make the payment, so let me ask this question now. How many of you are ready to join the training? Okay, what I was trying to explain before is that another reason why the fee have to be put is that it's going to separate people that are just interested and people that are committed. People that are just interested and people that are what, committed. So if you are committed, and that's it, for you to create a, I think in one of my posts I put that there, that for you to create a business out of teaching, you must be ready to invest your money, your time, your energy, everything into it. So if you're ready to do that, I'm going to drop the account details now uh, on the group. So you just make your payment of 2,500 naira only, and you send your proof of payment to me on WhatsApp. I'm very sure for you to be here, that means you pass through my WhatsApp contacts inbox. So just send the message and send your proof of payment, and you'll be added to the group. The training is going to start next week Monday. Today's Monday. So the training is going to start next week Monday, and it's going to run for 7 days. Okay, and after the training, you're going to get access to me one-on-one. We're going to have a 1 hour strategy section. And from there, we talk about, we look at, well, okay, what is next for you to do? And then you get going. All right. So that's it. So now, our time is fast spent already. I'll drop the details now. But then, if you have any question, please ask now before we call it a day. Yes, you are getting it. Everything is being recorded and it will be posted here. That one is not, you're not paying for that. You get it for free. So please, how is the training for you? How is the training for you? How is the training for you? If you have any question, please put it up now. And I'll be glad to answer your question. I hope this has been amazing. I hope I'm able to fulfill my promise. And let me say this. And I hope, and please let me ask this question. Is anyone offended yet? Because after all this talking, I introduced a paid program. The reason why I'm asking that question is that if you are offended, it's part of the mindset issue. And let me quickly say that, because as a teacher, you want to make, one of the things I also struggle with when I started this journey is that I despise what I want. So a lot of times we despise the life we want. So you see someone putting a fee on their training, and you will start feeling agitated, you start feeling like, no, they should not be doing that. You start feeling like you are being cheated, you start feeling like you they should not be doing all those things. You get what I'm saying? That they should not be putting a fee, they ought to do it for free and all those things. And guess what? It will come back and come and haunt you when you get there too. And the thing is, you cannot have what you despise. It's not possible. So if I'm not saying this to demean anybody or to bring down anybody down. And this is why, and one of the things you're going to learn in the training too, on that mindset, is self-awareness. So if you don't need to type it out that you feel it now, but if you feel that, you need to question yourself, why am I feeling this? Why am I really feeling this? Why am I feeling it? So it's very important that you do so. Okay, so we stop here. Okay, I see a question. It's like, how do I get my stories together in a very comprehensive way? Do you mean how do you? And that's another thing. You're going to learn how to create content too. Very, very important. You're going to learn selling, sales and marketing strategy. Very, very important, because without all those things, then where is the money? Because it's not enough to have a solution. You have to be able to convince people that your solution is the best for them. All right. So that's it. So I've dropped the account details. If you are interested, again, remember it's just open for 20 people. So if you're interested, just please put on the something. And if you're listening to the recording of this and probably the 20 has elapsed, Just please wait. There will be a new edition coming. Though, just one that's very sure that it's not be at that 2,500 naira again. It's going to be higher than that. That's very sure. Okay. So thank you so much, everyone. And hey, Miss Fatima, can you please just expand more on your question? Yeah, it's not late. Okay, my WhatsApp contact. Wow. 08037279843. Okay, so please send me mail. And if there's anyone here that did not go through me to get into this place, maybe your friend share the link with you. Make sure you get connected with me on WhatsApp. I share a lot of things on my WhatsApp status, and my name on Facebook is Abdulatif Al. So make sure you're following me on Facebook too. So I'll just send the link here. Okay, so we call it a day, yeah. So I'm going to stop the recording now, and then so if you listen to the recording and you're interested in getting the class, just send me a message on WhatsApp, and you will you get onboarded on the class. That's if you have not reached the limit of 20 people. If you have, you can wait for the next edition of the training. Uh, that's it. You can say if that's just it. If you can get this much value from this free training, you should know that the paid training is going to be like times 10 valuable than this. That's it. All right. So thank you so much, everyone. I really appreciate. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. So stop recording.